Hey, coach, you got me.
Yes, I do.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you first just about Tyrell Dodson, just your takeaways from his play yesterday, and with the added responsibility it's kind of been thrown on his plate over the last couple of games, just your thoughts on his development and how he's handled that added responsibility.
Just really excited about how Tyrell played as well as the entire defense. He was physical. He had a big time command over the communication that we needed to get everyone lined up and ready to play once the ball was snapped. Very physical at the point of attack. Our run defense has really picked up over the last couple of weeks, and he's been a factor for that. So excited to watch him play. His coverage drops were consistent, and so really excited about how he's been performing.
I know it's still early in the week and you're prepping for Philly, obviously plays tonight too, but just, we've heard Sean talk about this a lot when you guys match up against good offenses, in example like Kansas City, the balance of not so much trying to work to stop them, keep them from doing everything they do, but more so just limiting and keeping the offense in the game able to let them do what they do as well. I guess where's the balance as you look ahead to this, good offense that Philly has and the balance of just trying to stop them, but also just knowing that sometimes you just have to just limit what they do.
Well, our goals don't change. I mean, they don't change. We have a certain expectation as it pertains to points, as it pertains to third down efficiency, red zone efficiency, the explosive plays that we want to limit, and being able to force turnovers. Those things won't change. We will go out and put together a plan, and we will measure our performance against those goals. We respect Philadelphia's offense, but that won't change our approach. It certainly won't change the expectations we have for ourselves.
And one more, if I could, Coach. Just wanted to ask you about the turnovers last night. This is something that the defense hadn't been able to do in a couple games past, but just how much of a lift was just creating those turnovers, and how did you see the team, the defense just feed off of that ability to flip the field and help your offense?
Well, it's infectious. And the enthusiasm, the energy that it provides. You have to be in the right position, and everyone. The turnovers are usually forced. There's coverage elements. There's rush elements. There's execution factors in that. And when those things start to happen, the guys are looking for those things. It really is infectious. It feeds into the energy of our defense, of the crowd, obviously, and just the entire team. So it was great to see, and we want to continue with that every single week.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Hey, Eric, John Worrell.
Hi.
Um, how does anyone prepare for the brotherly shove?
Pardon me?
How does anyone prepare for the brotherly shove, the tush push?
Oh, okay. You have to excuse me. You prepare for the quarterback sneak, which that is just how that's evolved. You prepare for that. You do everything you can to fortify the most direct path that the quarterback has to try and get an inch or a foot or whatever a team needs in a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situation to get a first down. And that's what you do. And you make sure that also that you are aware of the addendums that can come out of that formation. We can't go to sleep and allow them to get into that formation and execute plays away from that point of attack. But you put power up there. You execute your short yardage technique. It's a very specific technique with the defensive line and the linebackers, and you give it everything that you have. And the other thing that you do is you stay out of 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
Right. No, that's very good. The other thing is you've not faced a running quarterback like Jalen Hurts yet this season. What are the challenges of having to kind of switch gears after facing more mobile kind of guys this year?
When you say running quarterback, do you mean a person with scrambling ability or design runs? What do you mean by that?
Well, I guess just what Jalen brings his own unique factors with the RPO options and all that stuff. I guess you've not. I'm not sure if you've faced anybody like that yet this season. I mean, I know you're accustomed to it, but the challenges of kind of switching gears on defense.
Well, we haven't faced Jalen Hurts, but certainly we've seen different styles of quarterbacks where they are the featured runner or a secondary runner. the RPO style offenses. But there's only one quarterback in Washington. There's only one quarterback in Philadelphia, and we'll be prepared for Jalen and everything that every dimension, everything that he provides for that offense. And we just have to be ready to execute how our plan dictates that we need to.
You're right. I forgot about Sam Howell. And lastly, just when it comes to Rasul Douglas, he came in billed as a ball hawk. And for a guy who's kind of bounced around, he came in as advertised based on what we saw yesterday. What do you make of how he's been able to fit into the scheme and defense so quickly?
Well, his personality is the first thing that we notice here in the building. I mean, the guy's a pro. The young man is a pro. He's got a great personality, eager to listen and to learn, very humble attitude. And from that respect, just eager to learn. He's got a growth mindset with all of the success that he's had and experiences that he's had in pro football so far. And he's a smart player. I mean, he knows how to find the football, and he knows how to adjust the coverage and the coverage technique to the situation that he's confronted with. So we're very excited that he's here, and he's a good person for our secondary to kind of really pay attention to in terms of how he approaches a situation, practice. Not that we don't have great role models in that locker room already, but it's great to have another person with that type of a mindset.
Thanks, Eric, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
Yes, good afternoon, Coach Washington. George Radney, Challenger Community News. How are you doing this afternoon?
Doing well. Thank you, George.
Great. Appreciate your time today, too. Linval Joseph, what has he meant to the defensive front since he's joined the team?
Well, I could take a long time to answer that. I mean, I'll start with the professionalism. The professionalism and a person that has a very long and distinguished resume in terms of production, team accomplishments, individual accolades in pro football. He brings credibility to the table, and someone at the same time who is willing to share a lot of those things to the men in the defensive line room. He's a tremendous point of attack anchor, very strong, tough to move off the point. He can accumulate blocks and anchor the point of attack, command his gap, and he can collapse the pocket. So I could go on and on, but those are some of the things that have been highlights so far.
Wow, and that got to be a part of the new era of the NFL. In the old days, you didn't used to see guys like this on the, out there available at this time of the year, where you can just pick them up and they, like you said, have the experience and the presence to come in and get themselves ready to play. That seems like it's part of the new era within the NFL. A lot of guys, Ndamukong Suhs and guys seem to keep themselves in shape and game ready and mentally can come into a given team and be able to play. Is that what you're seeing with some of these veteran guys that are coming on to teams now, coming on to the Bills?
Well, we're fortunate to get Linval. We're extremely fortunate to get him and to have a person of that level of character and everything that I just described and mentioned to be available. And the other thing is Linval had multiple options. He had other suitors, and he decided that this is the place that he wanted to be and to contribute and to compete. And so we're fortunate that he's here.
Okay. And last but not least, Leonard Floyd, 8-year veteran, and he's still playing like a young guy out there most of the season. What's your take on his play yesterday?
Outstanding. Not only the splash plays, the sacks, but just the point of attack defense, setting the edge of the defense, and being in a position to tackle the ball carrier, executing the different assignment details that were presented to him, but just a lot of energy. I mean, Leonard rushed on the left and right-hand side, which is tough for a lot of pass rushers. Sometimes people struggle to rush their non-dominant hand, but Leonard was able to go out and generate pressure from both sides, which is a huge benefit for us. It gives us a lot of flexibility with the rotation.
All right. Well, that sounds like that is very difficult for guys to switch sides. It sounds easy, but like you said, not rushing from your non-dominant hand, that is dicey at times.
Yes, sir.
Well, Hey, I appreciate your time. Good luck this coming week in Philadelphia.
Thank you, sir.
Coach Washington, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How you doing?
Doing outstanding. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm great. It is Victory Monday, and your defense was playing like Von Miller put hot sauce in their food. 6 sacks, 2 picks, fumbles created everywhere. 0 for 11 on 3rd down. I know you was very, very excited about, just that first time since 1987, since that has happened. But what did you see in your defense yesterday that you haven't seen in weeks?
Well, we were able to put the entire game together. We didn't have a situation where we were generating pressure and the run defense didn't work, or the run defense was solid and we weren't able to force turnovers. It just seemed like everything that we set out to accomplish as a defense, everything was working, and that's a tremendous credit to the men, to the players, and their preparation, their mindset, their attitude. Everything just came together. Everything was working for us. And so that's what you saw. And it was not just one entity. It was everyone on defense, from the defensive line all the way to the linebacker level and the secondary level. Everything was working, and it was fun to watch.
Absolutely, Coach. Now, moving on to, the next opponent in Philly. So many weapons Philly has. It's kind of, like Miami and that weaponry they have. How tough will it be to dictate the pace on Sunday?
Well, every week in the National Football League is challenging, and this is the next challenge for us. And certainly, we're going to need a great week of practice. We're going to need to really do our homework as a staff and present the players with a concise, clear plan of attack that doesn't drift away from our core identity. Execution is going to be huge, and we're going to have to be just as opportunistic in that environment as we were yesterday here. Those things give you a chance, and I know they're going to be stingy. They take care of the ball extremely well, and we're going to have to go and force and create some opportunities for ourselves. But I'm excited about the challenge. I know the players will be also.
Congrats on the win, Coach. Enjoy the holidays. Good luck this Sunday.
Thank you.
Hey, Eric. I wanted to follow up first on Leonard Floyd a little bit. Just now that you've gotten to know him more than halfway through the season, is there anything about his preparation that surprised you or stood out to you once you got to know him better?
Well, it really hasn't changed a whole lot since Leonard first walked on the practice field. There is an intensity to Leonard, a quiet intensity in the classroom. He's steely-eyed, very, very focused during the classroom part of the preparation. And then out on the practice field, you can just always count on maximum effort from Leonard. He's very calculating and methodical in terms of how he gets ready to rush. And he's just been consistent in that way, very competitive, which is a great trait for an elite pass rusher.
And then on a very separate note, Cam Lewis is a guy who's ready to play so many different roles. Just what kind of do you see from him during practice of, being ready for all sorts of different scenarios in case he's coming in?
Well, Cam understands that his value is the versatility that he has. And that's a huge responsibility because you can't lock in and just focus on playing, corner or nickel or safety. And so he knows what his value is to us. And it's a great thing to have on you, as a part of your overall resume, if you will. But we know we're going to get physical play, tight coverage from Cam, and just a person that's extremely versatile that could go in and affect the game in a positive way from a number of alignments. And we really appreciate that.